Hey everyone, welcome to this live recording. I'm just waiting for it to connect to all of the platforms. And it still looks like it's trying to connect to LinkedIn. Just going to give it a few more seconds. Okay, perfect. Okay, so today on this live, I am going to show you how I'm going to take my article that I posted about yesterday on Substack. I basically took all of most of my projects that I've built over the past 2 years that's helped me as a one person company grow and stay up to date with like all the newsletters, keep my operations running. And I broke down all the key skills and the ways that I was trying to think about approaching problems. So I wrote about like 16 different case studies of the problem I saw and how I solved it. So that's going to be in my Substack newsletter. So if you want to read that, feel free to check this out. And it will give you a really good foundation of what's possible and how I like to think about approaching this. So now that I have my Substack newsletter published, I want to create a page in my website that's like a portfolio page. Because right now I actually haven't updated my website in a while, and like that's something I've wanted to do, and it's just always gotten away from me. But I actually built out like this other portfolio website that was really cool on Lovable, but it didn't really have all the use cases. So I was trying to build something like really futuristic, but it didn't really have any case studies on it. So now that I did all the initial work of putting together a lot of the work that I did, I want to try to build it out into a web page and then publish it so it would get even more reach when people look for it. So today I'm going to take my newsletter and then I'm going to use Lovable to create the initial draft. And then I'm going to import it into GitHub and then we'll edit it with Claude Code on the web app. So you'll be able to see how I like to use a bunch of different tools together, and then we could go and publish it from there. So what I'm going to start doing first is basically copy all of this go into Lovable because we're going to edit the copy after in Claude Code. And then I'm going to say, I want to create a beautiful portfolio website based on the information that I am going to give you I want you to think through how to best approach this, where it will be in black and white, but sleek and professional looking, and create this as a place where if people land on my website, it will accurately and easily portray all the work that I have done and my thinking process. Okay, I'm going to paste that. And now we are going to let Lovable cook for a few minutes. So what I like to do, I like to ask it to plan first and then execute. And one of the things that I noticed that Lovable started doing was it started to actually plan out certain tasks, which was really cool to see. Kind of you see in Claude Code and Codex, and it makes the performance much better. So I like it that it's taking a while to think about it, and let's see what the initial version is going to be. And then to save in credits, you'll see, and I'll show you how you can integrate it with GitHub and then use Claude Code to further iterate on it so you don't have to use up all your credits in Lovable. And then you could just publish either on Lovable itself, or you could create a separate branch on GitHub and then deploy it on Vercel, which I'll also walk you through. See, this one right here is being hosted on Lovable. And it actually took a while to try to get this background, like when you zoom in and it looks like space, which I really did like. And then I tried to create this speaking tab, which it looked really futuristic. But this was a while ago. But like this is my main website where I definitely want to take the time to update and polish it. So now this is just the perfect opportunity based on my newsletter, putting everything together. Okay, it's still editing. And there are plenty of ways to go about building websites. You could do it in Claude Code, you could do it in Codex, you could do it in V0, you could do it in Bolt. But I found that I started with Lovable, and I've kind of had a couple of projects up and running and hosting on Lovable itself. So I haven't found a need to switch platforms. And I really like it that it has the built-in backend right now. So it's pretty easy just to set up and test projects, test pages, just iterate. And especially with the integration to GitHub, you don't have to use a lot of credits to try different things out. So hopefully this will be ready shortly. If you see here, this is the credit system. I know when I do these lives, it does take a bit longer because you actually see how long it takes to build, but that's just one of the things that I do like showing because it's not all done in 2 seconds as you see online when people just cut out all the middle. Okay, it says it is done. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, portfolio, hobby hacker, every wrong turn. See here, this button is kind of not so good. Looks pretty. Okay, explore my journey. Takes you to the next page. Welcome to a look behind the curtain. Okay. This is pretty basic so far, but it's definitely a good starting point. It has some of these animations. It's pretty cool. So they don't all have animations. And then did it. If I schedule this, are the links there? Okay, so that link works. Okay, so now this is what we're going to do. We'll X out of this and we will sync my project to GitHub. Let's do connect project. And if you see here, now I can view this project on GitHub. So now that it's on GitHub, we can then go to, let me just make sure. So sometimes you've had to always install Claude Code in each of the new projects. So let's see here, you go to GitHub Apps, install GitHub Apps, configure Claude Code. Sign in. Okay. Send code through my email. Okay. Now that Claude is in this project, let's go here. What's it called? Unfiltered roadmap. I have so many repositories because I'm just constantly testing new things out. And then if we go to Claude, and you'll see this feature, Claude Code. And then now we should be able to find that code base in Claude Code. And now I'll say, can you please fix up the formatting of this web page and make the transitions cleaner? Okay, so then this is being sent on the web to this GitHub repository, which is now being connected to Lovable. So now I don't have to actually edit the project within Lovable itself. Let's see if it's going to work. So now while this is going, I'll show you how we could then go on Vercel and deploy the GitHub repository. So then we could then constantly iterate on that. So let's see here. Okay. Let's deploy this. So essentially, this is the framework that I like doing to quickly iterate on ideas that I try to see. So I'll start it on Lovable, transfer it to GitHub, so at least everything is roughly made, and then I'll edit it in Cursor, Claude Code, Codex, and then you could always deploy it to Vercel or deploy it back on Lovable. See, push a new branch to preview changes instantly. So now this is deployed on Vercel and it's deployed on Lovable. So let's see where this is up to. Okay, so it read through the entire database and it made its own to-dos. It's editing it and then it will be done. Now, one of the other cool things is that you could actually work on many different parts of the website all at once. So you could send off many different agents to work on each section of a website and they're all running at the same time The only thing I would advise against is working on a similar code of the website, because then there will be merge conflicts. And you could actually send this out from your phone or from the web or from your CLI. So it's really cool to do it this way, because you could basically work wherever and send off tasks. So it's almost done. And then I'll show you how I could create multiple agents to work on different parts of the website. Okay, it's going to commit and push my changes to GitHub. Let's see. Let's close this, close this, close this. You'll see it should see this was done. So now it automatically pushed those changes into my GitHub repository. And let me see if this automatically updated. Let's pull this request, and then you could see the different changes and what it did. And then we could do create pull request. Okay, so now what's really nice about attaching it to Vercel is that your lovable website, let's say you built it here, you don't want to touch this and it's being deployed somewhere, and you could send out that URL. But now you want to make improvements on those changes. So now you could actually see that deployment without merging it to the main branch. I know this is a bit technical, but I'm just showing how I walk through it. So then you could actually preview this deployment with the changes. And if you're happy with it, then you can merge it. Let's see. Okay, 2 minutes ago, this was a branch. My computer is running a little hot right now. Okay, so let's just merge it. Okay. Now we'll confirm the merge. And now this got pushed to the main branch. And now it's redeploying. And you'll see here, it actually pushed those changes into your Lovable project also. So now let's see. Takes a few seconds sometimes. Okay, I made those transitions better. Clean that up. Doesn't seem like it did a whole lot, honestly. I mean, that's a nicer transition that it did. Let's see here. Okay, so now let's do two different. I want you to focus on the hero section to make it almost as the elements are floating in space. Okay, let's send that off. And then we could do this one. I want you to make, let's see. I want you to make section 1 much more aesthetically pleasing and cool animations as you scroll down. See, now we could have two different agents working on two parts of the website. See, and you could even edit in Lovable here, and then it will also sync back to GitHub. And then you could also, so you could constantly edit in both places if you like the UI better and editing capabilities. Let's add, can you add the glass effect for section 2? And one other thing you can do is you could actually go and find certain themes as inspiration to make your website really cool and design it in a way that would stand out. Okay, so this one, it's done. So we'll just merge this. And this one is the floating space effect. Let's just merge it. It's going to update. Seeing this might have just took away the beginning. See, that's why you could try out different branches. Maybe I wasn't explicit enough to not take away the text, but it seems like it just took away the front, the text. But this is just showing how you could think about building something like this. Let's see if this one's almost done. Let's see section 1 with scroll animations. You took away the text that was there. Can you put that back? Okay, and that one is done. So this one is the glass effect. And I think the other one is done also. So we'll just do both. And section 1 with the scroll animations. See, in here there was a little bit of conflict. Accept current change. Let's merge that one. I don't even know what this is going to look like. Oh, this is back. And the space background. Phase 1. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. It's really cool animation. Then let's see phase 2. Phase 3. You see already it's becoming a lot cooler. Stage 4. Seems like it's doing it for all of them. I'm not sure if it did the glass effect. Seems like it did. But then if we go back here, then you could also take over in Lovable. That's cool. See, and that is how I'm going to iterate and take a newsletter and turn it into a portfolio to put it on a website. And then from there, I now have it hosted on Vercel and Lovable, which I can then attach it to my domain name, the AI Consulting Network, and then put it as an extra page for it to be online and everyone to see. So I just wanted to walk everyone through my thinking, how I approach that task. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be more than happy to help you. My name's Avi Hacker. I'm the founder of the AI Consulting Network. And if you like this type of content, feel free to like this video, share it, and follow for more. I hope you enjoyed.